If you are a service business and you've been hearing AI and automation workflows, and you're kind of like, what does that all even mean? Then this video is for you. We're going to dig into each one of those so that we can definitely come to understanding of these are the definitive differences between AI automation and an AI automation workflow. And it's really four, but this thing is kind of like nitpicking. Automation workflow, AI automation workflow, it's like an extra step. So it's really three main things, but we're going to touch on all of that in this video. In case this is your first time visiting the channel, my name is Marcus, and I am also a service business owner, but with my background in technology, working for some of the largest companies in the world today, AI and automation, technology, platforms has always just been a part of me. And so I've wanted to find a way to combine the two, and I have, and I want to share what I know in details, things that I'm also learning, especially with AI coming on the forefront of everything. I want to share those details with you. So with that, we'll take a regular mover's website, because in most cases, when you have a service business, you're dealing with people face to face eventually, right? So whether you are automating that, the lead generation piece or the business development piece, you're going to have to see that person when you deliver things, right? Or in the moving company's perspective, when they show up to start moving things, right? And so when we think about trying to implement automations or AI in a service business, there are some things that you can automate and there are some things that you can't, right? You're not selling an online course and you can just make the course one time and sell it over and over and over again, right? You have to shake hands and kiss babies. Well, you probably don't want to kiss babies at someone's house because they're a client and their customer, and it might be kind of odd, but you know what I mean, right? Like, you're going to have to see people face to face. So there are certain things that you can automate, but at the same time, you're also working in a world where people are used to getting what they want now. They want answers faster. They want to be responded to, right? That's one of the main things in service businesses that can get challenging as they grow, or as that service business grows, is being able to reconnect and respond to all of the incoming communications as fast as you did when you're a little bit smaller, right? So first one I want to touch on, automation. What is automation? Simple enough, it's the way you automate steps or automate a task, right? To have that task or one or two tasks happen automatically without your direct involvement. So there are plenty of platforms out there. So if you're looking at like maybe a Calendly, right? That is a scheduling automation, right? Simple enough. You go in, you sign up. Calendly has a free plan. You sign up, you link it in there, and you click. It has you connect your Google Calendar or your Microsoft Office calendar, whichever type of calendar you're using. But I think those are the two main ones that it offers. And you just click the button, it syncs to it, and you now have a link. And obviously you can set the schedule, you can set the details, you can set your working hours. And so individuals or prospects or clients or customers can choose which time and which day works best for them without you having to get an email and respond to the email and go back and forth with that person when they're available, when you're available. Calendly does all that by just presenting your available times only to anyone who wants to schedule time with you or book an appointment, say for a moving appointment. So that's automation. Quick and easy. And so when we take a look at, say, this website and we see the button here, hey, reach out for a quote, that's probably going to lead to a contact form. This would be like another automation, right? So if someone fills out that form and clicks submit, then that form is probably going to send someone an email. It just happened automatically, right? It's one or two tasks that have been completed automatically. They don't have to submit the form, and then it sits there while the service company or the moving company comes in and has to check the form and then sends the form to the email. The company doesn't have to do that, right? The form probably does that automatically. So that is an automation. When we are looking at quotes, right? Free quote, send me a quote, schedule a call, etc., etc. That's multiple steps. And so when we start thinking about the multiple steps, right, we're thinking about, or we're looking at submitting the form and submitting the information, which sends an email to the company. And now that company has to then call that individual, get additional details, see if there's a good time, and then he'll go and put it in the calendar. Now, when it's multiple steps, that is what we call a workflow. And so when you automate those multiple steps, right, 2, 3 or more steps, then that is the second thing there, an automated or automation workflow, because it is the way that work flows. Right? Simple enough. So when you think automation, I want you to think single step. When you think automation workflow, I want you to think multi-steps, right? And so when we think about the multi-step, right, when we think about the automation workflow, it's like, okay, this is probably our business development to sales flow, which has multiple steps, right? Someone goes to the website, fills out a form, hits submit. That button then sends an email to the company or the business development rep or the owner or whoever, sales account manager, whatever. That person then gets an email with that client, or I would say at this point it's still a prospect, right? At a prospect, gets an email of that prospect's information. That salesperson or contact person within the business, we'll just call them contact person, now has to call that individual, right? Get more information, discuss any details that were not included in the form. And if that prospect says, yes, let's move forward, then that sales contact person then schedules a call, right? Or schedules an appointment. So we're at 3 steps right there, right? Fill out the contact form. Email is being sent. The email is sent down to the sales contact person who calls, right? So contact form, email sent, call the prospect. This is the contact person has to call the prospect to fill out the form, right? Once they get those details, and for this example, we're assuming the prospect says, yay, okay, let's do it, I'm going to move forward. Then that contact person is like, okay, what's a good date and time? And so now that person has to send out an invite, or they get them scheduled, or however the process goes. So that's 4 steps. So if you automate all 4 of these, that becomes an automated workflow. So that's what I mean by multi-step. And then we have the third element that we kind of touched on, and that is an AI automation workflow, or an AI workflow if you want to just keep it short. Now, with an AI workflow, what happens is, instead of, and we'll go back to our 4 steps here, instead of the prospect filling out the form, let's say they're engaging on the chat with your AI that's aligned to your business, all right? And we're going to call your AI bot. Right? So you have your AI bot, and your prospect is now typing with the AI bot, and the AI bot is asking questions and answering questions, but it's also saying, okay, well, how big is your home? What's the square footage? Again, we're talking using a movers example. And okay, well, from the square footage and the number of homes that you've shared, here is some preliminary pricing for what we would charge. Would you be interested in moving forward? We'd love to schedule a good time. What's a good time for you? And that prospect puts in that information, right? What's a good day and time? And okay, your AI bot says, well, let me see if we have anything around that time. This is what we have. And the whole point between the AI is able to determine on its own, based on the information that the company has provided it, to make a decision and do all 4 of those steps. And that's the difference with the AI automation, because if someone, say the prospect, has a different situation, it has a smaller house, they have a smaller house or smaller square footage, or they have a larger square footage, or they have an extra bedroom, then the AI is able to determine the correct information to send that individual, which may be different than another individual, and you have had no involvement as the service business owner in that, because the AI is determining using the AI, artificial intelligence, yes, but it's using the information that you've supplied it about your company for it to say, I'm going to make these decisions based on this information that has been provided by movers ABC company, right? So that's the difference, right, between automation, single step, automated or automation workflow, multi-step, and then AI automation workflow or AI workflow, which is determine and then complete all steps. And so that, in a nutshell, is the differences between automation workflow and AI automation workflows. Now, the question is, which one do you use in your business? And I like to think about it in 3 stages, right? Since we have like 3 different steps, there are 3 different stages. If you're new to this thing, if you're new to automation, if you're new to AI, if you're new to systems and process and all that great fun jazz stuff that you love to talk about over dinner, and you want to do that on your own, I would say take it in the steps that we've covered. The first thing is look at automation. What is a single step that you can automate? What is a single manual task that you're already doing that you really don't want to do or really don't have to do, so you can focus on growing the business that you can automate, right? So if you still have your contact form that is sending you an email and you're having it sent to a person to call someone back, maybe the first task is when someone puts in a date and time that you want them to come out, have that also include automatically scheduling in the calendar instead of having the contact person talk to them and then schedule it. So then you can have contact form completed by the prospect, which sends you an email, but then also puts a placeholder in the calendar, right? And then you can have your salesperson confirm if that still works or not, and then calls the individual back to get more details or to verify, confirm that date. Now, from the SMS piece, you can also have the automated step that when they fill that out, because you're probably going to ask for their phone number, have an automatic, right? We're going to take this and we're going to make that the second step here. When someone fills out the form, maybe there's an automated message that says, hey, we got your form. It's been submitted. This is the phone number we're going to call you from. Right? So now that person's not having to guess who's calling them, what number are they going to call from. They automatically get an SMS message automatically once they submit the form, so that they have the number that you're going to call them from. Helpful. And then maybe when you call, more people will pick up because they're familiar with the number, they're able to save it, or they're able to memorize like the last 4, and they're like, oh, okay, the moving company is calling me because I got this text that said they're going to call from this number, right? That's a simple step. A second part, or the second level that you can probably focus on in your business, is an automated workflow or an automation workflow. And we can automate this whole thing, right? Multiple steps. I kind of already touched on it, but now we can have prospect fill out the form, which then sends the email, which then sends the SMS text message to the prospect saying, hey, thank you so much for filling out the form. Here's the number we're going to call you from. We're looking forward to speaking with you. We will give you a call within X amount of hours, or, at this time, whatever works best for your workflow. And then you have it schedule. The contact form automatically schedules a placeholder date based on what they said, because then if that time frame is not available, you can have it go to the next slot. And when your sales contact person then reaches out to them and say, hey, I know you mentioned that this time works better. We actually already had that time booked. Would this day and time work better for you? Right? And so now your salesperson, your business development person, is now getting involved after the flow has been almost completed, right? And then the third level, that's going to be the AI automation or the AI workflow, is have your AI bot, have your chat bot do all of these steps for you. Right? Now that's probably a little more involved, but is it worth it? to turn 4 steps into 1, being able to get the information to your prospect and your client to them within minutes versus hours or days, or with some service businesses, they don't even respond, like not at all, right? So this is how automation workflows, and AI workflows can help your business, your service business, reduce the number of steps you're having to do manually so that you can focus on providing better quality faster and providing information within the timeline that people expect these days, right? Like I said, we're in a microwave society. I want to hit it. I want it in a minute. Ding, right? Like, give it to me now. And so you are able to assist your clients and your customers with that because you have one or all of these 3 solutions in place when you architect, implement AI, automation, and workflows all together. So I hope this has been helpful. My whole point here is to help you understand this in simple terms because there's so much information out there. I understand it, and it's kind of my job to filter through it and make sure that we can explain it and communicate it simply. So I hope this is helpful. If it was, give it a like. If there was something that I missed you want me to cover in another video, please leave me a comment. Happy to do it for you in a future video. If you want any help or need any assistance in auditing your current workflows, seeing where AI or automation can be implemented, or if you want someone to do it for you, feel free to give myself and my team a shout. We'd love to help you out with that. If you want additional insights that you just kind of want to do on your own time, by all means, take our free quiz assessment. It's what we call the business bottleneck assessment to see where the opportunities lie in your business where you can apply AI, automation, or workflows. It will break it down in 3 different categories as far as what level you're in, and you'll get those results instantly so that you're able to at least get some type of roadmap or some type of insight to where you are right now to help you establish and plan next steps or future steps for any AI or automation solutions that you may want to consider for the business. So thanks for sticking it out with me. Go ahead, subscribe if you want more videos like this, and I will see you on the next one.